yeah. And like that, a podcast begun, cause he answered, well, what had happened was...
So,
20 years old, in a successful group, you set out to kind of do your own project. How did you go about finding the guys in De La Soul?
I don't know if it was a thing of like finding them. Everything that the universe brought me just kind of came about. And I say it like this: I was working. I was asked to produce a beat for a gentleman, MC named Gangster B.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Gangster B lived in our neighborhood, and our music teacher at the junior high school of Amityville.
This is Long Island?
Long Island, New York, was Mr. Everett Collins. And Everett Collins played drums for the Isley Brothers. And he happened to be the music teacher at the high school, and he also started a record label. Excuse me, a record label. And I believe the first person he signed, or one of the first acts, was Gangsta B.
Mm-hmm.
Since I'm the known celebrity in the neighborhood now, because I made a record, I'm in
Right.
Such a Sonic, a hip-hop record.
Mm-hmm.
Paul, bring your drum machine in, program beat, do this thing for Gangsta B. I came in with my drum machine. It was a sequential tom, and I still have it. And the cool thing about that drum machine, it played beats backwards, which was very advanced for 1980s, mid-80s, right? So I'm programming this beat. They want this backwards beat, but it sounded too much like Paul Revere. And
Right.
I come from an era where biting is a crime.
Right.
And I'm like, oh. So while I'm programming this beat, Gangsta B's DJ was there. And his DJ was Maceo from De La Soul. And Maceo, who I've seen before in the neighborhood and who I've known his family as well, came to me and was like, I know what you're feeling. Like, we both agreed that this was not cool, right? And he's like, yo, I have this group called De La Soul.
So they already had the name.
He had the group. Yep. He had the group De La Soul. And, you should check out some stuff we're doing. Maybe, you'd be willing to work with us, and because I was like, because I had all these ideas. They're like, nah, man, keep the backwards beat. I'm like, So that's how it started. And from that point, Maceo brought the rough of plug tuning. And when I heard it, I was like, oh my God, I've never heard anything like it before. But my ego and my experience said, but I can make this better. You know what I'm saying? It's dope, but I can make it. No, let me think of back then. This is fresh, but I can make it fresher.
Can you remember anything about how that original sounded and what you felt like you could improve upon it and what became the final product?
Man, it was just so raw, and it was funky, and I've never heard anything like it. I mean, just the sample itself.
Mm-hmm.
Zoom, 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 zoom. But to me, it was dope, but it dragged. I was like, oh, okay. How can we make this more interesting, make it arrange it, and da-da-da. So I was like, okay. He left me the cassette, and what I did was I took the cassette. Back in the days, you take cassettes and dub them, have 2 cassette decks, and just add stuff to it and dub them. And after a while, you hear, shh, because you've dubbed the same thing over and over and over, and you added stuff. So I added a beat. I added the Billy Joel part and a whole bunch of things just to make it kind of, drive, a little more. And my final touch was I had a VHS recorder that recorded in stereo. So what I did was I took the final product off a cassette and made a master copy on a VHS tape, just audio, stereo. So when I told Mace to bring the guys over to hear what I did so I could meet them as well, I popped in this VHS tape. And it had music. They're like, oh, first impression. Yo, he's nice. He know what he's doing. He put on a VHS tape. Who does that? I didn't know you could even do that. And then when I met them, I was like, I know you guys. I've seen them in the school before.
How